E-Gaming Bets, online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2? Make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO? Guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quests for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Well, it's been an absolute journey to get to train. A 16-13 start. GODSENT looking like they were about to take it in OT in the second map, and then Heroic struck. It took them, I think it was 3 overtimes to finally win it out, but they did it. They got themselves that second map, and now we get to play Train, which is a map that they've looked pretty good on recently, playing a lot of top-tier teams. Not quite able to beat some of them, but still looking strong. And a map that, well, we don't know how GODSENT are going to perform. A lot of it has come down to individual talent. Either way, speaking of individual talent, Harry is here with us. And, well, which way are you going? Which way are you leaning at this point?
It is a very tricky one, right? I mean, I'm not going to sit on the fence about it, but I feel like heading into this, you and I both said that GODSENT really need to close this out in 2 maps if they wanted to win it. That said, I mean, their train doesn't look like terrible, and they've been playing extremely well today on an individual basis, and that's one of the things I think that really does define GODSENT is sometimes they can just have these standout performances. And when you think about how strong Twist has looked on the AWP, Doppler as well, whenever he's picked it up, has been fielding some fairly impressive scorelines. I mean, oh, it's so tricky. You know what? I'm going to go GODSENT to take this. That's just my opinion, but I do think that, you know, Heroic have what it takes. But I'm going to go GODSENT through and through. Bam. That's it. I'm just going to say them. How about you, Tom?
I never changed my prediction, so I said they got to take it in 2. I think the Heroic are going to finish this off on Train. That's the way I'm going to go about it. Never change. At least I can be wrong, but stuck in my ways. I do believe in Heroic on this map. A good map for Yugi on Train. Should be able to step up. We've seen a lot from Valde as well, who can sometimes be very up and down on just in his performance, but across the maps he's been very good on both. So if he steps up, I don't think there's going to be a lot that they can do, and I think one of the win factors, obviously, great for GODSENT, they've been playing very well, but it has to be Letcro. I think he's so incremental on their T sides, finding those entry picks, and the CT side, it's just been a bit of a bonus for them at the moment, because he's been playing very, very well through and through.
Definitely. But quickly, before the knife round is said and done, let's say hello to you guys in chat, and thank you all for sticking with us throughout this terrifying, terrifying roller coaster of emotions. We've got the likes of Panix, our newest addition to the moderator team. How you doing, buddy? T. Bosgan, Dab Monster, what a terrible name. Regine, Mestical, Amaral 1903, M. Dezo, Nexon, Burn Lort 8. I'm really bad with names, by the way, guys. Just like actually terrible. So I butcher it. I do apologize. Pizza 1337. Rodney God. UK Rud Slugger. Human Soap. Ivana KH.
That has a ring to it.
Cryo Kevin. That's good. Insane Potatox. I can't read your name. It's gone. Sorry. Glockenor. What a name. Glockenor. That's fantastic, dude. That is amazing.
Oblivion Claws.
What was that? I didn't like that. I did not like that, Tom. I felt like you were in my ear making love to me. That was the worst. Oh, that'll send shivers down your spine. Comedy Station, how you doing, buddy? Hobby boy, or hobby boy, or hobo boy. Sorry, Rimos 1.
Shommy21 just told me he's my father.
There we go.
Yeah. Am I adopted? Then again, though, if you're my father, that means you're bald, so... that's unfortunate. If you're Harry's, then you have, like, loads of hair, so like I don't know who you were aiming that at.
Like a worrying amount of hair.
Worrying about.
Like, you don't go to the outside world amount of hair.
The hairdressers just look at you and go, nah, there's no amount of money you could pay to get me to cut that off. Either way, enough
You have to go to a gardening service to get your hair cut. That's how much hair you would have. But anyway, speaking of haircuts, let's see if we can see a couple of them with USPs done in this pistol round as GODSENT look to rush in towards the B bomb site. Everyone's making their way downtown, and Nico's here to watch the cross. Does have that USP in hand, and boom, there we go. Schneider going to be the first victim, claimed with that USP. A little bit of damage done back in retort. Bomb's going to go down. Valdi's rotated on around as well, and always making quick work. Electro, who does just bite the dust there. We've still got Doppelin hanging out close on the site. Twist going to get spotted as well towards Brown Hills, has to fall on back, and ultimately this pistol round shaping up to be a phenomenal one on the behalf of Heroic. Doppelin on a fine one, and then Valdi chiming in with the second. Modi on the flank, actually spots out Pronax, but just runs away from him. Doesn't see him as too much of a threat, and the beanie just poking on over the top of the railing there will mean he goes down. Heroic, they pick up the pistol. Bomb does go down though, meaning GODSENT can go for the third round bye.
Yeah, don't expect to see too much in this round, although... Well, they're definitely a team who could throw in a force or two. I don't think they're going to be doing it here. Likelihood is they may just get a P250, maybe a smoke or something to try and get them a second bomb plant. And we're actually just going to see a Deeg come in onto Disco. So they're going to try and do a little bit of damage. 3 rifles in hand for the CT side. Pretty much standard of what we expect in this second round buy for them. They know there's a buy coming in the next. The UMPs can be kept. And obviously they do want to try and make a little bit of money. And that trusty UMP does make 600 per kill.
Yeah, these UMPs need to try and farm some cash up against the, for the most part, ecoing out GODSENT side. Doppelin, the only player who invested, does have a deagle, and always going to put it to some good use. Yugi going to be tasting the round that comes out of that on the cusp of his tongue, and well, he will be going down as a result. It tasted metallic and then very bloody, and well, it is going to now be equalized back into a 4-4. Letcro does manage to grandfather the deagle forward, but walks out in the waiting arms of Modi, who now has him trapped between a train and a hard place. And Schneider, no, Schneider, stop! He really committed to the sneak there down towards B, just crouch walking despite being railed with bullets. From Nico, who's now holding down this site, finds himself a second, but then will be dropped by Pronax, who's going to get that bomb down once again. Hey, that's pretty good. And now it's all on Pronax. 1v3. He will go down, but he gets the bomb plant. And they actually managed to do a lot of damage. So the buy for GODSENT here is going to be fairly strong across the board, to say the least. They should even be able to get an AWP potentially. As Pronax, I think, is going to have enough money for that.
Yeah, they can get an AWP if they want it. They've got plenty of money overall. A lot of nades that can be invested into this round. They're just going to go for the flat rifles. I've got absolutely no problem with that either, but very, very nice round coming out from them. And, well, really, I think the Heroic might be a little bit disappointed they enabled them to get a second bomb plant. Obviously, they keep every single one of their rifles as well, but they don't get that chance to build up the extra money unless, of course, they do win this third round as well.
Oh, the artillery raining on in. Going to be finding some good damage on the back of those nades, but now GODSENT to answer back with some rounds of their own downrange. Going to find it now with the man advice still in favor of Heroic. And while Pronax one was actually rubbing your back just then, does finally trade things out. Valdi going to go down, but Doppelin's being tagged. Pronax to find a second. Turns into a 2-on-2. Now both these guys limping around town, and Modi going aggressive on the flank here. He's pushed all the way up from Ivy. They have to watch their backs. Nico's on the site alone. Is going to be tagged down low, with Modi going to be the linchpin in this scenario. Lines up one. Doppelin does fall, and now it's all on Pronax over towards Old Hell. 1 versus 2. Bomb is down and out in the open. Modi falls on back to play things safe, and Pronax has to try and clutch this out.
This is actually really smart as well, because he knows roughly where the bomb dropped. So he could just play an angle from Popdog, which can't really be checked without actually directly peeking in, but okay, Modi will directly peek. Give Pronax that opportunity. Give him the chance to actually clutch this one out. It's down to Nico. Both players relatively low. Molotov will actually force him back. 35 seconds left, so not really that much of a rush for Pronax to try and make something of this round. He's going to be pushing back in. Now, he doesn't know the position of Nico. That's the only problem. There's been so much time since he was last spotted. He's just hoping that Nico, like his counterpart in Modi, will make a bit of a mistake and hand away a kill that could possibly cost them the round. Now it's getting down to crunch time, however. 15 seconds left on the clock. He has to maneuver himself around, and he's just guessing at this point. Doesn't really know the position, and that is just a little bit of bad luck on his part. Doesn't know where his opponent is. Assumes he's going to be the other side of the map, and, well, Nico's going to be handed a freebie.
Yeah, they do pick up that third round. So despite a very, very good start from GODSENT after losing the pistol, getting those 2 bomb plants and finding a nice bit of damage done, Heroic picking up this third, going to reset all of that progress. And now leaves them in a good place to try and pick up a fourth potentially as well. GODSENT, though, going to be buying Deagles across the board. The high-powered hand cannon just going to be lapsed 5 times over as everyone on the Swedish side going to be opting to try and use this against their Danish counterparts. And well, Twist going to be biting for a little bit more than he can chew over towards B. Will be naded down already. Doppling going to be at the full brunt of these players over towards Ivy as well. Not Ivy, sorry. Over towards A main. Will be tagged down low already. 35 HP. Well, GODSENT unable to find anything early on. Now I've slowed everything right down, almost to the pace of a crawl, as they look to try and find an opening.
So far, so good, however, for the CT side. Cleaning up these frags. Valley with a couple. Leaving Pronax. 5 players standing. Obviously, any damage he can do will be valuable for his team. And maybe earn him an extra nade or 2 as well. I'm not going to get anything done, however. It will be the perfect round from Heroic. Flawless victory. And now we wait to see what will come back up on the other side. Now, again, Pronax had the opportunity to buy an AWP for one of his teammates. It doesn't look like they're going to go for it. So, unless one's been dropped to Twist that I don't know about, and I don't think that's the case. No, so they're just sticking with the flat rifles, not bringing in that AWP, which is interesting, actually, because Twist was doing very, very well with that AWP.
Yeah, and in a game like Train, you can open up sites with that weapon. The A site just being so pivotal with the AWP. One that you almost need in your arsenal, at least to counter AWP the likes of Yugi, who is currently playing up towards Old Hell, just watching A main with the rifle in question. And, well, I mean, not having one on Twist does seem like wasted potential, at least at this point, but still going to be seeing GODSENT slowing things down once more on their T side. Not going to be giving away anything early on. Not taking any peeks either. They have very little information as to where these players are. But looking like B might be the site in question.
Still plenty of time left for the T's to play with. 2-pronged defense actually sat in over towards, but they're going to take over Pop Dog control. And if you look at the position currently of Pronax and of Schneider currently in A main, this does look like they could just split back and have a little bit of a lurk position for Lekro at the moment. 52 seconds coming up on the clock. The nades not yet being expended, sort of waiting. The CT's going to throw out a little bit more. They still have so much utility to play with. A couple of smokes, a few incendiaries, perfect for any afterplants. And now the bomb's going to go rotating back around towards this B site. They've only got 35 seconds to play with. Nico has himself an incendiary. The other player on the site will be Snappy. He only has a flashbang, but he's just sort of that counter flash angle. He's going to be ready and waiting, trying to hold off anybody from close. And they haven't spotted him out yet. First kill will go to Nico. Snappy in a decent position, but gets nothing done. And that's going to be both players down. The utility is now worthless as they both lie dead on the floor. Necro, or Lekro even, actually gets himself a frag. 2 for him already. And now the remaining players have to wonder whether this is worth going for as they look to just fade out of the round. Such good positioning. Great about holding on to all that utility. Unfortunately, when it came down to it, GODSENT won the duels.
Yep, trying to take your won the duels comment into a Yu-Gi-Oh pun, but I just couldn't find a way of making that happen. So, yep, Yugi able to find one onto Pronax, who was trying to shut down the saving player. Now they know where he is. The crossfire is going to be set up there between him and Modi. You can just watch this one angle. It's going to be interesting to see if they do go on the hunt. They can't really afford to lose any more players on the side of GODSENT, but they pick up their first, and this is going to be their chance to get the ball rolling now. The side of Heroic, though, still with plenty of money in their banks. Will be able to buy on down. Snappy's looking a little bit low on cash, but you have got the likes of Valmy and Yugi who can pick up the slack for him. And there we go. Guns are plenty. Over on the CT side, GODSENT their chance to start to build up some cash of their own. If they string together this round, they might be able to pick up a second one for free as well. Take things to a 4-3 scoreline and start to accrue some cash in those bank accounts. So this time around, once again, making their way towards B, holding things very passively, waiting to see if any aggression comes out from Heroic. Only this time they slide down in through Pop and look to try and make something potentially happen faster out towards A. Valdi up towards E-Box will be Pop flashing himself on through, now falls on back, and as a result, GODSENT haven't gained any ground just yet. Take things slowly, and they're just waiting to see if Heroic make any mistakes that they can capitalize on. And well, it looks like this might be in the form of Modi being caught out. Twist actually has to fall on back to reload, and Modi goes with the peek and actually wins that duel. Down goes Twist. Now the man advantage in favor of Heroic.
Again, holding on to quite a bit of utility in the hands of Nico over towards that B site. We'll have Yugi to support this time, and they can afford to sort of split their defense a little bit more thinly now as they have the man advantage. Letcro still just waiting around Pop, sort of hoping that the Danes will further aggress and look to try and take him down, but it's actually going to be the push straight out. Nico to capitalize, and now the remaining players looking to actually push back in, but the slight over-rotation from the CT side might give a little bit of an opportunity to these Ts. Letcro looking to find the first kill. He's the entry fragger, but hasn't managed to even spot anyone yet. There's so many players just in passive roles. He finally gets one. Modi is there to trade Pronax with another. But it's just looking like they're running out of men to play with. Only Schneider left, and he will fall to Nico as well, who rotates in from B. And that's a 5th on the board for Heroic. And the money, well, it's a little bit sketchy now for the T side. A couple of players not really able to buy.
Yeah, to give you an idea about how this game is going, Pronax is top fragging for GODSENT right now. So 5-1, and they will be force buying down what they can over on the T side, down to about $2,000. You had plenty of players who were at about the kind of the $4,000 mark. They're going to be picking up some armor here and there. For the most part, though, looking to keep more than enough money so they can go for the AWP buy into the next round. And well, Disco Doppelin and Letcro already forcing some aggression out towards A. It looks like the rest of the team going to make their way in through Pop. Now, Valdi could deal with Letcro, but the trade should come through. And oh, from downtown, it's Nico to find that with the nade. Doppelin just going to be slam dunked. And now Yugi up close over towards B with the AWP in hand. Finds the first, changes out to the USP, and almost makes it look easy. Down goes Schneider. They keep 5 alive on the back of the eco round from GODSENT, and that will be them now with plenty of money fast building up on the CT side. GODSENT now can finally buy down and finally Twist going to have the AWP in hands to play around with.
Yeah, I think definitely needed that sort of change. Not only because the team in whole hasn't been able to do too much, but him individually hasn't been able to find anything. So as a player who can pick up that AWP very effectively, it seems like the right decision to be making. Nice flash to catch out Nico. But he is just going to fade back to the site. Doesn't have much support at the moment. Snappy going to go close into Pop Dog with the Just going to try and deny them any sort of further aggression with that incendiary grenade. Once again, we are going to have the lurk, this time in the form of Pronax over towards Ivy, as the rest of the team look to gather up for that push over towards B.
Yeah, rushing on in. They go slow. And while it could allow Nico and Valdi to capitalize on this, Nico going to fall down, but him and Valdi are both there to reinforce. They only find 2 frags between them, and then in the blink of an eye, GODSENT find 3. Now all of a sudden, it's Snappy and Modi tasked with trying to retake their site. That Molly's going to force them back. Snappy misses the smoke, but it does, luckily enough, extinguish the fire. That's going to allow them to push it on through. But it's still 2v3 in this retake. They have to find something, and they have to find it fast to equalize out these numbers if they're going to commit to this. They do have 2 kits between them. And a singular flashbang, but the pop flash comes out. That's going to allow Letcro some free damage on a Snappy. And a second pop flash to try and hold this back even more. Modi's up on rafters, misses those couple of chance shots, though, and that was really their opportunity to make their way back into this. Now just looking to fall back and save. Letcro able to find 1, leaving it all on Snappy, who only has a UMP. I think he's going to try and dart back in to pick up the M4. But Letcro's just homed in on his location. Now falls on back. They will be able to save an M4 on the side of Heroic at least, but still. GODSENT now finding themselves their second round.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem there for the CT side was actually just that Valde and I think it was Nico tried to take the exact same angle. So Valde couldn't shoot without killing his teammate, and in most scenarios you would just shoot, but he let it line up, and Letcro was like, thank you very much, I'll take 2 kills onto both of you as you sit there looking at each other. So much, much better for them, but it could have worked out for Heroic if they were just playing slightly different positions. Either way, money-wise, they're going to be okay. Still buying back up into this round, and, well, Letcro again! He's going to start things off with 3! Gets all 3 aggressive players! This man, well, named him as the person who needs to step up if they're going to win this one. He's just got a triple kill at the beginning of the round.
No, Snappy's going to be looking the wrong way. Pronax able to capitalize on that, leaving it all on Yugi. 1v5, thanks to an amazing start from Letcro. You can see Yugi's desperate to claim revenge for his fallen comrades, so they didn't die in vain, but ultimately can't even do that. Has to now fade away over here towards this B site, and it looks like Doppelin's going to go hunting for him.
Yeah, no surprise. They've still got their whole team surviving at the moment. Obviously, they do want to build up their money themselves, but knowing that this is likely to be that reset chance for Heroic, they do not want to give a Catalyst AWP over to Yugi to have a chance to fight back in the next. We know that this guy can just go nuts, do a lot of damage, make things very, very difficult for them in the next round, but it won't happen. Doppelin will shut him down at the cost of only 1 player. And going into the next, I don't expect to see a buy from Heroic. It would be very, very risky, but they are going to do it. This is... Wow. This is interesting.
Yeah, and also I just noticed the 3K from Lecro in that previous round just too violent for TV. And that's why we just couldn't show it. 6-3. And, well, right now, Heroic, like you said, they've gone for the risky buy down. It's going to be a couple of UMPs and M4 and an AWP in play for them to try and make all the difference with. And GODSENT, they know they're going to be up against a fairly weak buy from Heroic. Instead, just flush straight in towards his A site. Just raw aggression coming out from them. And Yugi, first to go down. That's the AWP out the hands of Heroic. And Twist finds himself a second, looking for the third as he looks to chain together. 3 spots it out, but actually Schneider there to pick that one up instead. Twist, oh, there we go. There's the third. This man knows no bounds as he picks up 3 frags in towards the site. Bomb's going to go down. It's all on Nico 1v4. And he just wants to fall on back, save the M4 if he can. GODSENT going to be picking up their 4th, who have gone from 0 to 100 real damn quick. 3 rounds consecutively now. And they keep 4 players alive, which is going to do wonders for this T-side economy.
Twist looking like he's not happy with only having 3, still looking for the remaining player, but that's going to be a freebie for Nico, maybe even an AWP, so that's something for them to hold on to going into the next. Big, big round from Twist. Just absolutely decimating, and I'm very happy to see that he did pick up that AWP. It has made a big difference, him and Lecro combining to win them the last couple of rounds. Now, 6-4, this is where things do get a little bit sketchy for this CT side. They're going to invest very, very little. Of course, we know that they're going to have 2,900 coming into the bank accounts in the next, so not really any reason to go for anything other than a few pistols and then just make sure they have a decent buy following into round number 12. Obviously, from GODSENT's point of view, they're already looking to get themselves a 5th, unless, of course, Nico shows some real heroics.
Yeah, with a name like Nico, you've got a lot to live up to. Let's see if he can make some magic happen with the AWP. GODSENT are going to have everything they need into this round. It should be a fairly easy one for them to walk away with, but you can't count Heroic out just yet. They've got the Catalyst AWP on Nico to try and make some magic happen. And while they're stacking up over towards Ivy, looking like they're going to push out here. 3 players, one of which does have the bomb. It's going to be firmly on the back of Twist now. Moddy's watching the angle, just opting to play things safe over in the corner. GODSENT going to be scouting out B as well. They do have Lecro pushing up there. Then they've got the stray player in the form of Disco Doppler who can make his way in through Pop and also throw out a couple of smokes and flashes for the take in towards A. Push going to be coming in underway from Ivy, though, as the 3 players now make their way on in. The 3 Swedish Musketeers trying to secure this A site just with raw aggression. And while snapping up another train, going to get one, now just fades away, finds the early man advantage. Pronax goes down, Moddy's going to push through the smoke, and oh no, this round is a disaster. Down goes Twist, and now it's a 2-on-4. Schneider's got players closing in on him at all angles, finds a first on a Nico, the only fully bought player on the side of Heroic, as he did scavenge the AWP at the previous round. Smoke's going to go down to allow Doppler to try and cross, but Moddy's watching the angle with an AWP of his own. Down goes Doppler, and now it's all on Schneider. 1v2. He's trapped on the site right now. The crossfire is going to be set up between Yugi and Moddy. And I mean, GODSENT, things are looking to be on the ropes a little bit here.
You've got a decent plant for Connector. Rotation going to be going all the way around from Moddy. And still no gun yet for Yugi to even find. He's just stuck with the USP to try and challenge versus a man who has himself full armor and that AK ready and waiting. It has to be the flank from Moddy that does the damage, and they have to do it quickly. AWP in hand, and there we go. Lovely round coming out from Moddy. Gets himself 3 kills, picks up the AWP, and brings it around that never should have been for Heroic.
And it all came on the back of that push through the smoke. Just a ballsy play to kickstart a series of events that never should have been. And ultimately going to allow Heroic to pick up their 7th over on their CT side. GODSENT, the round they should have had almost, you know, incredibly easily. Really only Nico there to contend with, and they eliminated him very early on. Just suddenly turned sour, and ultimately it's going to be Heroic now find themselves with an economy that's looking fairly decent considering they're coming off of a 3-round loss streak. GODSENT, though, do still have an AWP to play around with in the form of Twist, a double AWP setup for the side of Heroic. The first time we've seen them really employ double AWPs throughout this series, and once they go out for the peak here, they have to watch out for Yugi. Doppler or Twist can't afford to walk slow. Twist going to go for the peak, but he does find the headshot. Down goes Yugi. And already this B site looking to be a hell of a lot weaker. It's actually going to, in the long run, though, weaken that A site as Snappy now rotates off to fill the boots of the AWPer on that B site, meaning now there's only 2 players on A.
Yeah, not the start they wanted. Twist definitely looking awake now that he's got that AWP in hand. 7-4 scoreline, obviously still a CT-sided map, but definitely the availability to get more T-sided rounds. We've seen a lot of teams do it as of recently, probably most famously at the E-League Major itself. Valde will be able to trade one back, so man advantage is gone, but now the push is going to start to come in over towards this A site. Trade comes in, T-side still with the advantage with this push. The rotation yet to come in from Nico. He's still not sure where the push is actually going to be coming in. Doppler picking up the AWP, trying to find the pick, but can't do anything against Valde. Luckily, Pronax can. Bringing it back to a 2 versus 2, but Snappy with that secondary AWP going to close both down, and that will be 8-4 in favor of Heroic.
The one kind of silver lining right here for GODSENT is that Yugi's been very absent, and in all the games I've seen him play, Train has been kind of a very good map for him. Someone that you spoke about as well has to kind of be that catalyst AWPer for the CT side, and he hasn't had too much of an impact. He's currently bottom of the board, 6-6, and I mean that could easily work in GODSENT's favor, who have decided to force buy down what they can, buying down about $2,000. Schneider had enough to grab the AK as well. And it looks like they're going to try and make something happen over towards B. Potentially Twist now making his way downtown. Walking fast. The rest of the team. Look at this. The Swedes all grouped up. Huddling together for warmth in the cold, cold winter. And well, looking like they're about to push in towards this B site. Nico, the player tasked with trying to hold back the tide of Swedes. And in they come. He goes down straight away. Already this B site going to be opened on up. Valde's on the rafters. The player is to try and hold this back. But the bomb will go down. The rotate coming on through. And Snappy fast on the flank. Lekro's got to land this shot, and if he does, this round could be over and done with.
Valde given an opportunity to find one, but can't quite capitalize, and that leaves them still with a disadvantage. The flank is in the meantime coming in, but they need to find some kills, and they need to find them quickly. Things are looking a little bit problematic. They do get a couple. Lekro with the dig, managing to still continue, and there goes the flank. It's gone. It's all down to the players pushing forward. Schneider perfectly placed, catches one. Second picked up as well, and now it's all onto Valde. He was on the site the whole time, and that's where he'll be left to rest. Now we're going to be going back into the round. The AWP will be picked up onto Twist once again. Yugi on the glass cannon AWP on the other side of things, and well, we're looking at Yugi to try and find himself that pick onto Twist. He has spotted him, and he's going to win the duel as well. Obviously a little bit of a bonus buy from them, well, not a bonus buy, a force buy, as they don't have too much to play with, but it's working out so far. Push will be coming in from Doppler. Trying to find the pick onto the site. Yugi with that AWP is going to find another doing work. Glass cannon is clearly what he needed at that pressure, and he'll do the work. Valde is going to get 2 as well, and maybe this force buy is going to be enough for them. Only Pronax left. AWP in hand. Valde will shut things down. 3 kills for him. Yugi with the glass cannon able to do work as well. And now we're going to see another sort of last-ditch buy for GODSENT going into the final round of the half.
I mean, Valde just goes insane, right? It's like you see them look a little bit vulnerable and you wonder how they're going to pick things up, and then Valde just emerges through the fire and flames, gets the triple kill and secures that round. GODSENT, like you say, going to be on a last-ditch attempt with their buy here. Twist does have the AWP. Schneider going to be on the AK as well. A little bit of utility for them to play around with, but ultimately not as much as we're used to seeing. Valde switching up his position, going to go aggressive out towards Brownhall. Does find that first as Valde deals with Lekro. He's going to be eliminated from the equation very early on, and now GODSENT, they've lapsed on back over towards this A site. Didn't find any success over towards B, and now look to try and execute out towards A potentially. You can see Schneider is going to be over towards Ivy. Twist as well, exerting the pressure with the AWP out towards A main, but he's got to face off against Yugi, and he does so. Down it goes the AWP for Heroic, equalizing this back into a 4-on-4, and now he just repositions. So detrimental to being a successful AWPer is just the ability to find a frag, reposition, and then remain deadly. And that's exactly what we're seeing now. Twist actually looking like it was the re-peak from A main. Modi now going to be tasked with trying to AWP, as he does pick up the fallen AWPer for Heroic. Molotov to deny the push towards B, but it doesn't matter because it looks like Doppler's just going to push straight on through. Now, I don't think Nico's going to be aware of this just yet. The Molotov's still burning, but he does check the angle, and down goes Doppler. And now, the 3 remaining players for GODSENT trying to make something happen out towards A, but they've only got 30 seconds left. They've got to go quickly here. And Twist can't connect much. Schneider able to find Modi, though, and down he goes. Now it's a 3-on-3. The retake already coming on through as they rotate around. Valdi able to deal with Twist. That's the AWP out of the hands of GODSENT, but a quick refrag from Schneider, who's got huge right now. Got to try and find a third to secure this site. Bomb's going to go down. Snappy and Nico. Nico's going to fall. It is all on Snappy 1v2. And oh, Prodax, how did you even see him? What was that shot?
In the edge of the smoke, he will catch it. It's going to be 9-6. Heroic take the half, but does come a little bit closer than could have expected, especially with those couple of rounds towards the end where both teams had a couple of sketchy buys, didn't have all the utility, even all the weaponry that they desired, and, well, either way, the weaker buy seemed to win every single time. Pistol round, definitely going to play a huge part in this one, as, well, the winner of it is likely to take the follow-up rounds, and it could be a 6-round lead or an even Steven scoreline if GODSENT are able to take it on the CT side.
Alrighty, the aggressive play down towards Ivy. You're going to be seeing that Prodax is there to watch it alone. Now, Ivy's a fairly pivotal position. Prodax has to land some headshots here to try and hold this back, or at least buy time for Twist to jump on down, or at least reinforce. Prodax will be watching the angle. They peek on out, and he spots them. Now he's well aware this push is underway. Smoke's going to go down and delay it. Modi tries to get this trade frag on a Twist, and he does so. Can equalize things back into a 4-on-4. They just push through the smoke. Schneider and Prodax about to learn that smokes aren't walls, but Prodax is pushed on through. Actually going to be on the back line. It doesn't matter. Schneider quickly rails together too, leaving it all on Modi, who has to ace this for the win. 1v3. Still has a USP to play around with it. He has been able to pick on up 2 frags to his name already, but Bomb is down and out in the open.
Modi going to be rotating around, trying to find an individual duel, but at the moment it's not looking good. Schneider will be there. He finds one, looking for a second. He's only got 4 bullets left total, so may need to find another gun relatively soon. Obviously, only takes 1 shot to the head. Maybe he could get a little bit lucky, but Doppler up close, and he's run out of bullets. Doppler will finish him off. 3 kills for Modi, but it's not enough in that round, and GODSENT will get themselves the pistol.
Yeah, they deny the bomb plant as well, so as long as they don't allow Heroic to pick up the force by now, they should be able to equalize this out. But this is kind of
smokes.
Yeah, they're definitely going to go for something that's preset. Definitely, I would imagine a push out towards A, right? With that many, you don't really need an amazing amount of smokes to hit B. Really, you need about 2, and they've gone and brought up 4. So it looks like they're going to just set up a wall of smokes in towards the A site. Modi already drops down and actually deals with Schneider somehow. The UMP, they're going to be besting him at close range despite having the full journey down the ladder for Schneider to pick that frag up. It is going to be the man advantage turned in favor of Heroic. The push coming on in, and GODSENT, they've got to try and hold this back. The wall of smokes is down. Prodax is going to push straight on through, and up close and personal. Nico's going to go down. Bomb will get planted, though, in that smoke. And now the clock going to be working against GODSENT here in the retake.
Yeah, and a couple of quick kills. Prodax still just trying to maneuver around, gets another one. But it's going to be down to him and Lekro. And Lekro with the scout, not really the best retake weapon in the world. All they really have to do is play these after-plant positions. Obviously, they don't really have too much to play with other than that. And while Snappy going to add another one, they've just spotted out Lekro as well. He tries to run away. Not the best spray in the world from Buddy, but at least they've got themselves around. There's nothing that Lekro can do in this scenario.
Yeah. No utility, not enough manpower, and then ultimately didn't have the information, has to fall on back, and Heroic, they do what they needed to do, convert the anti-eco, and it's something that GODSENT have had trouble time and time again with holding on to. So now it's going to be Heroic with their 10th. They're also going to reset the economy of GODSENT, and you have to force buy up into this. Now, if they lose this round, they're going to be on double eco, and as a result, I mean, Heroic could easily arrive at kind of 13 rounds almost entirely for free. So they have to cling on to this, and if they do, they're going to find themselves propelled all of a sudden into a very strong and commanding lead.
I'm quite interested by the fact that Lekro drops his scout to save the UMP, and then Doppler buys a scout anyway. Just a little bit of money burnt by that CT side. Obviously, I reckon it was because he was holding a close range angle and wanted to just make sure he survived, but Still a little bit unfortunate towards the end. Obviously, relatively safe buy coming out from the T side. They're going to go and buy up 3 AKs alongside the FAMAS they saved. Snappy will be the one to try and make as much money as possible with the trusty MP9. And at the moment, we are seeing quite a bit of aggression. Now, Twist has managed to find himself in A main. In the meantime, not really too much presence over towards Ivy other than the one passive player of Pronax. And, well, they do have Lekro currently on the site. Here goes Nico, right out, just walking all the way across the rafters. And he's going to get that first kill as well. Doppler with the scout will be able to trade. But Modi, lovely one tap across the board to find his head. And leaving only a couple of players left. And Yugi just in a horrible position to catch out Twist.
Yeah, Pronax and Schneider, all that remain, looking to try and save what they can. I think Schneider hoping to try and find an AK here or something he can scavenge off of a fallen Heroic player. And Pronax just trying to save over here towards the ramp. Is able to find one onto Snappy. What gun did Snappy have? Snappy actually had an AK, so if Pronax could go and pick that up, that would be ideal. But already you've got Valdez rotated around just to watch the angle to stop Pronax doing exactly that. Oh, the gun could get blown his way here. Pronax looking to try and grab an AK.
Oh, you don't get much luckier than that. Just
I think it scared him a little bit. The lad's right next to him.
That's amazing. Clearly, the Counter-Strike gods are feeling that Pronax deserves an AK going into this next round. Actually going to give it over to Schneider and keep the CZ for himself. We saw him pull out a nice round actually with the CZ previously, getting a triple kill over on the B site of Overpass. But whether he can do a similar straight in this round is yet to be seen. Twist spotting one out aggressively over towards Pop Dog. Of course, this is Heroic's round to lose, if anything. They should be taking this one pretty easily, but with Schneider on that AK, maybe there's a little bit of hope.
Yeah, gonna have to play the Catalyst rifle player. GODSENT certainly haven't come this far just to try and throw things away with a very one-sided scoreline to Heroic on train. Right now, Heroic, 3 players over here towards B. Modi down in Pop Dog as well, can quickly rotate on up if needs be. But right now, it's looking like B's going to be the site in question. Schneider looks to take this angle aggressively with the AK, trying to catch them off guard. Peeks out wide. He does so, finds the first. Going to retake that peek. Didn't really need to and will go down as a result. It is a 3-on-4 for the retake of this B bomb site. Doppler spots out Modi and lands that nice chance shot. Now, Lekro pushing the site. Trying to go in sneaky beaky like, but will be punished for that and will fall at the hand of Valdi, leaving it all on Pronax and Doppler to retake. They're looking to try and do some damage, but walking into the waiting arms of Yugi. It is like shooting fish in a barrel. Valdi peeks on out and is able to deal with Pronax as well. There we go, 12-7. And finally, GODSENT can buy on down once again.
There still won't be an AWP for their side, however. And with a 5-round advantage, Heroic have to be going into this very, very confidently. Now, we are just going to wait and see if they can actually pull things back. No incendiaries to slow down any of the pushes, only the brick wall of the smoke. And it's actually going to be a very aggressive push. I like this. Straight out onto the A site, not giving them even a second to think. It will be Modi to start things off. First kill.
Oh, Modi going to force the issue, and Lekro is going to be on the receiving end of that. And down he goes as Modi, 2 very quick, aggressive, and pivotal entry frag. Spots out Twist as well. Now he's on 3. And this man has very quickly turned this round the way of Heroic. Pronax to try and refrag doesn't know where at least one of these players are, but he's got so many angles left to check, so many kills left to find, and it will just be a save coming on in from GODSENT, I imagine, at this point. Pronax continues to try and force the aggression. He's going to be tagged down low. Now they know where he is. Doppler and Pronax just looking to try and hold on to what they can. Something tells me Heroic aren't going to let them get entirely away with this, or they might opt just to keep all 5 players alive, and that looks to be the case. Build up the economy before you shut down the likes of GODSENT, as ultimately they won't have enough money to buy up anyway. Even if these 2 players do stay alive, it just gives them an M4 ready to play around with into the next round.
Well, I think the scariest thing at the moment is the fact that Modi's woken up so much in this map. Just we already had Valde hitting his shots. We had Yugi in the previous. I'm losing my voice at this point. I'm losing it, losing my mind even. But yeah, we are gonna have him stepping up as well. 24-10 and just pivotal in that round. And I always like when a team just switches up the pace, going into a round where they know they've only just started to actually build like a buy together. So they just go sheer aggression. No, they won't have thrown out nades early because they don't have them to spare, and then just crush them into the ground. And it is a great way to ruin the confidence of your opponent. Modi, this time will be shut down, however. Disco Doppler is going to try and fade back to the side, and it will be traded very, very quickly. And that's already going to be B, completely in the control of the Danes.
Yeah, Pronax here, the other rifle player. Yugi's going to be watching the angle, not to be confused. Oh, there we go. That's fine. One like we're going to go down, but then there's Pronax to return. Going to be putting it back into a 3-on-3. The Deagles and the M4 still up on the side of GODSENT. This retake not impossible just yet, especially as Pronax has been able to work his way up into a close angle. Valdi's going on the flank, though. Doesn't matter if everyone on the site dies. That's exactly what's going to happen. Valdi's positioning now has to be... Oh, never mind. Twist going to fight, and the Molotov does go down, and it misses. So...
Twist at the end. That's the problem. Like he was so ready for that flank that he never expected anyone to be behind him at that point. So Twist will catch him out. GODSENT winning that round with 3 players alive. Obviously, the money on the T side is ludicrous at this point. They've got so much to play with. They're going to be able to buy it back up comfortably. Yugi will get his AWP. And, well, the CT side are going to have actually quite a decent buy on the board. Pronax with some spare money even going into the next round in case they do lose one straight back. So they should even be able to get somewhat of a buy into the next round. But look at this again. Modi, sheer aggression. This time not happening, and Schneider sprays down 2. He lines up with Valde. Both players out of this round. The 2 top of the board at the moment for Heroic. Now we'll see if the remaining 3 can scrap something together and win this round for the Danes.
Yeah, Snappy has worked his way up onto the side, but he does have the bomb, and Twist just lines that frag up, knocks him down. Now it's going to be a 2-on-5 ensuing. Yugi is going to be alone, trying to make his way down through Pop. Nico close behind, currently trying to contend with Pronax. He's been able to force his way out through Ivy. Well, Nico just watching it, waiting to see if the lone Swede IGL peeks his head out anytime soon. Doesn't matter how big your brains are when they're splattered against the wall, but instead Nico does actually just fade away. Going to instead opt to back up Yugi in towards this site. Now Schneider and Doppler both up in towards heaven. It's going to be very irritating to contend with. Yugi to find one, though. Doesn't matter. Through the wall he goes down. Nico finds Twist as well. Suddenly they're closing this man advantage, but Letgro looking to try and put the nail in the coffin. Peeks out wide. Down goes Nico. And now it's all on Yugi, who's at the mercy of Pronax. He lands an amazing shot across the map with the AK, ripping his head clean off. 13-9 as GODSENT pick themselves up a second consecutively.
Yeah, very important that they do so as well. It begins to build up the economy a little bit more. I think they had, what, 3 players at the end. We are going to see attack pause come out quite early from Heroic, but obviously after losing 2 rounds in a row and relatively convincingly as well, it's important that they take it early rather than once it's already too late or once the momentum is built up for GODSENT. Obviously, with Pronax at the helm, we know that if this team gets momentum, he's going to be able to keep them in the right direction for them to take this all the way back. And being on the CT side, once you build up all of that cash, everything does become a lot easier, as this map can be easily slowed down with a huge amount of utility.
I mean, one thing that is interesting to see, right, is Pronax very much picking up the slack. It does seem like the players we would normally expect to be seeing go huge in the form of kind of the Letgro Twist combo, Doppler as well. They're all right down there at the bottom of the board. I mean, you know, relatively speaking, the scoreline's fairly close, but usually we expect to see these guys kind of above and beyond the likes of Pronax in terms of their score, but they've kind of fallen off a little bit and are struggling and have recently kind of started to pick that up. Pronax, though, someone who we usually associate with being, you know, so focused on kind of being the IGL, doesn't really have the fragging power of the rest of the team. Actually, 14-14 right now, second on the team. So
with that, though. I can't think of many examples of when Pronax has topped the board and they've won. A lot of the time,
that's the one issue.
Is like if he can have an incredible game, he can play entry fragger sometimes and can do it very, very well. But most of the time, if the stars, well, it's just like common sense. If your stars are below the player who's supposed to be like thinking up all the strategies and calling on the fly, there's something going wrong, or that player is just going above and beyond in a match. Now, we're yet to see, obviously, once the result comes in and we can talk in hindsight, maybe this will be a performance that we can say, okay, Pronax has helped them take this over the line, but if we then end and Heroic have won, we won't be commenting on Pronax, we'll be saying, yeah, Pronax has done fine. It's the stars that we need to see shine.
There you go. A beautiful metaphor from a beautiful man. The stars need to shine. And, well, right now, I don't know. I can't think of a joke fast enough, so we're just going to move on. 13-9. The pause going to be called off, as they've had plenty of time to discuss this now. The buy is going to be coming in from both sides. Both sides, of course, having an AWP to play around with. Plenty of utility as well. And if GODSENT pick this up, this could be around for free in the next, as the economy... Oh, no, actually, the Heroic are going to be all right, I think. Should be able to force something together, at least. It just kind of comes down to whether or not they want to risk that. Lekro now going to be going aggressive over towards B. Will be flashed on back as Nade doesn't find too much damage as well. He's tagging Modi down for 11. But right now, Heroic just spreading on out, trying to maintain map control early on. Not just going to be charging in like we've seen them do previously. Instead, it's a much slower, much more methodical approach.
Yeah, a change that is probably necessary for them at the moment. Obviously, they can just sort of try and bait out nades early on, like we've seen them do in the last few rounds, where they've just been so aggressive that obviously GODSENT have to react in turn by basically saying, okay, we're going to stop you from doing that by throwing out a little bit of utility. But you can see they actually still have 4 incendiaries on that CT side. Obviously, a minute left on the clock, so plenty of time for them to run out. They have actually rotated a second player in the form of Twist with that AWP as well. They are starting to gamble a little bit more over towards this B site, especially with Schneider currently in the connector. He can switch very, very quickly. However, not really too much dedication, or to either site, I suppose, I should say, from Heroic, as they are actually going to be throwing a smoke or two over towards this A site, but it looks like this is all just going to be to sell the fake. And actually, it may have worked, almost. Twist looked like he was about to rotate in, but no, they're not buying it. Lekro will be able to get the first Nico, looking to try and trade, but actually it's Schneider with another. Yugi will get one, but the rotation being held by Valde, it's not really going to help if they can't actually get onto the site.
Yeah, very, very quickly trying to double on back over towards A, but Disco Doplin's already in position to just wait with bated breath to see if this does come through. Molotov going to force him back for the time being. This should allow the bomb to go down at least, so suddenly things being flipped on their head just in the nick of time. Pronak's going to be the first player on the scene to try and make a difference on this site, and Doplin's going to be spotted out in connector. Pronak's up close and personal will fall at the hands of Snappy, and also Doplin's going to be tagged down low. Lekro, the saving grace, does come back on round to trade things out. It's a 2-on-2, but Yugi on the cross. Down goes Lekro. And now it's all on Twist. 1 versus 2. Both these players in great position to try and trade, but Valde takes a bit of an unnecessary peek. Tags down Twist low. Clash of the Titans, AWP on AWP once again. Defuse going to be faked. Yugi flying around the corner. Oh, gets caught. But it's going to stay alive for the time being. Fake defuse comes out once again, and Yugi just playing this perfectly. Does go for the peak. Twist finds the frag, but there's no time left. Heroic, from seemingly nowhere, pick up their 14th round. They do lose everyone, but still have enough money to buy down and get an AWP if they want to. And of course they want to.
That was insanely close. Heroic double backing with 15 seconds left on the clock to try and go around to the A site. And Doplin, although close, is not quite able to deny them, so it will be another round on the board. Of course, the loser of this round is going to be losing the next couple. Now, for GODSENT's perspective, they lose this round, they pretty much lose the game. They will have to win it with pistols. On the other side of things, they win this round, they have the chance to get themselves at least to sort of a 12-round scenario, where it could be just that little bit closer. Now, Doplin is going to be playing B site alone. He's got a 5-7. It is a close range angle. It's doable, but it's going to be very, very difficult. Now, over on the other side, there's a little bit of a lackluster utility behind a couple of players. Obviously, Valde dropping the AWP to Yugi, and, well, he didn't have the money to buy it much up at all for crunch time. T-side waiting over towards this B-side. It looks like they may just have the perfect read. If they can get rid of Disco very, very quickly and just take these aggressive pushes, it's going to be very difficult with limited utility for these remaining CT players to get back in. Doplin, however, he's not going down easily. He's going to take himself 2, surviving on the site. Lekro with another. This round is looking like a shutdown. Modi, he wants to get that bomb down. They know they need the money, and it's flawless, or almost. Valde gets 1, but Doplin, well, I mentioned if they get rid of him quickly, they didn't get rid of him at all.
This is his dance floor, and well, Disco Doplin's going to be owning it in towards that B site. An incredible hold once again, an insane, basically an insane clutch play coming out when they needed it to. It might not have actually been a 1v, 4-1v3 in towards that B site, but he was there alone. He bought so much time for the rotate, found so many kills, and that is going to lock GODSENT in for a 10th and potentially 2 more rounds as Heroic find themselves on the double eco. Smokes and flashes raining in towards this A site. They've got to lock things down now. To lose once again to a force-ball Heroic at this point would be devastating, and it's something that's happened time and time again. This time, though, they've got to remain firm. Bomb's going to go down already in the smoke, but it gets denied from Schneider. A great start. Doppler to find another as well. Veldy does get one in retort. Now Nikos towards Old Hell does dispatch Schneider. It's a 3-on-3, a little bit closer than GODSENT would have liked. Bomb's going to go down once again, but this time no denial to come on through. Doppler doesn't find the frag. No, he doesn't. Okay, then. Twist with the no-scope. What's going on? It's so back and forth. And oh, another one. Twist, what are you doing? This is not how you play the AWP. Now it's all on Valdi, 1v2, and oh my god, Tom, this has been insane. Valdi flanking on round, Twist with 2 incredible no-scopes. Doppler's looking completely the wrong way, but he finds the frag anyway. It couldn't have been closer. And GODSENT pick up at 11th, 14-11. They stay in it, but that was almost too close.
Yeah, this game is getting back to the ludicrousy that we saw on the previous map, and well, 14-11. They're going to be able to invest a little bit. They will have a buy in the next round. Yugi may even be able to get himself the trusty AWP as well. But now GODSENT really do have a chance to just pull this one right back. This one should be a given. I say should because we all know how powerful those pistols can be. Doppler's already showed us once, and in the previous round, that's all they invested, and it came down to a 2 versus 1. Valde does have to be aware of the player currently playing close. Now he's watching Twist. Twist is just trying to bait them in. He wants them to come pushing so that Pronex can get himself some freebies.
I mean, Twist is just going huge now. No scopes in the oh, okay. He doesn't even need vision. Last round didn't need a scope. This time doesn't need to see the enemies because he's looking insane. Schneider's gone aggressive as well, going to dispatch of Snappy. And in the previous, we saw Heroic pick up quite a few frags despite there being a low investment on their side. This time it is just a flat mop-up from the Swedes. Might be able to make it a little bit costly. Does dispatch of Disco Doppler. He knows that Schneider's coming in from behind. The pop flash does come through, and he's looking to try and make it a little bit more expensive as they keep taking these peaks, but there's Lecro. The double peak pulls through, and GODSENT, they pick themselves up a 12th. 14-12 now, and Heroic, well, they have to pick this up. It's getting incredibly close. I mean, if they lose this, they're going to be back on the eco once again, and that's going to allow GODSENT to equalize this out at a 14-14 scoreline. And then we could be seeing more overtimes, Tom, and I don't know if my little heart is ready for that.
I don't know. Things out of control in this matchup, and well, we've still got another game going on in the meantime that we're supposed to be casting. The problem is this one just never seems to end. It's continuous, and in a good way. They are going to have push coming in over towards this B site. Aggressive take of Ivy as well coming in from Prodax, so this will give them a lot of information about the direction of this push. Not yet a rotation coming in over towards this B site, but they do still have a quick rotator in Schneider, and the more ground that Pronex gathers, the more information they have, and the less likely it is going to be this A push. Unfortunately, the smoke's already raining in. The rotation will be forced. Electro is going to be close already. One player will go straight past him, but it's going to be into the clutches of Schneider. He mows down 2. Electro with another to add to the collection. Schneider just shooting through smoke at this point, and it's a flawless round for GODSENT. They're back.
Gods versus heroes, Tom. Gods versus heroes, and what an incredible series this has been. 14-13 now. Heroic don't get the bomb down. They have very little money left. They're just going to have to buy down what they can. A little bit of an investment in towards this round. Valdi going to be picking up the armor as well, so they will be getting that full loss bonus, so it's all good on their front. They will have a little bit to play around with. But GODSENT looking like they could very easily equalize this out 14-14. They just mustn't fall victim to the force buy from Heroic, as they have done so many times in the past. Now, it would be truly heartbreaking to see that happen. I'm on the edge of my seat, and I hope everyone else is too. Smokes and flashes raiding in towards this A site, but there's a gap in it. Disco Doppler can just peek on over the top, and that's a mistake you cannot afford to make against GODSENT. And he's going to be looking at the top of the smoke, finds that first, capitalizing on this position, will be flashed on back. Bomb's going to go down. It's not going to get denied just yet, but Twist is there over towards Old Hell to find one. Snappy peeks on through the smoke, actually, but it converted that into a frag, but they still haven't dealt with Doppler, who's up here, boosted. He spots out Snappy, down goes one. There's a player right beneath him as well, but he doesn't check it. Modi just up in the smoke. Doppler spraying for it, does spot him out, pushing through, and down it goes Modi. Doppler with 3 huge frags, Twist with 2. And an insane performance from these guys in these last couple of rounds. 14-14, all equal now, and all to play for. Plenty of money for either side. I mean, surely we've got to see a pause.
I just don't even know anymore. Like, I'm glad that I'm not one of the people betting. I genuinely am glad, because this would be one of the most stressful experiences of my whole life. And it is already.
Your hair would start falling out.
It is, yeah, no, my hair might fall out if that were the case. But, no, this is going to be the double AWP setup in for this CT side. I'm going to see a little bit of aggression coming out from Doppler as well. Denied by the Molotov. He's actually going to peek into it. Works sometimes, not this time. Luckily, they've got Schneider to return any damage done as he takes down Snappy early into the round.
Oh, Pronak's going to be going aggressive as well. They don't deal with him just yet. Smoke's going to go down, but Yugi says no. Doesn't let him cross out through that smoke just yet, and he will fall at the hands of the Danish AWP, and now it's a 3-on-4 ensuing. Heroic, though, have picked up that one frag over towards Ivy. Although, GODSENT have quickly rotated Twist around to remedy that. He's posted up there with the AWP, just watching the angle. They don't have Ivy control just yet. It's still very much up for contention, and these three players are very sporadic in terms of where they are on the map. No one in a good position to trade, and that could be to their detriment, especially if Lecro tries to take any sort of aggression over here towards B.
Again, gonna see this AWP set up, but Lecro's position could be what makes this round. Now, they're not actually going to push anyone up towards the scaffolding, so he could be perfectly placed to just end it the second they go to try and plant the bomb. They're not going to expect him to already be in behind them. They are going to have the push coming out, but now Lecro's position is just so much more valuable. They are going to lose both other players, though, but there we go. Timing is perfect. He gets one. Needs to finish off Modi. Luckily, he's got Schneider to help on the other side of the map to add one more to the death toll, and Modi is now surrounded. Two players pushing in from different angles. Will go for the plant. Molotov going to go down. Won't be able to deny it, but will be able to push him out of position. Lecro thinks he's got the kill. Actually looks away. Modi still with 5 HP, and Schneider will finish. Triple for him. And it will be, surprised to say, after 6 rounds in a row, GODSENT are going to hit map point and series point.
This is incredible. This is one of the most heart-racing, intense games of CS I've watched in a while, and yet 15-14 now. Heroic have not come this far. They haven't fought this hard to go home just yet. It will be a buy down for the Danes. I mean, if you guys think that we're all sweating, imagine how Heroic are feeling right now. They're the team in the spotlight. They've got everything to lose heading into this, and I mean, they just came off of doing so well at IEM. They want to try and hold on to this now. GODSENT 1 round away from taking it. Heroic going to try and take things through to overtime. 15-14. The roller coaster has not ended just yet.
Yeah, flat rifles this time. No AWP available. They are going to be going for the smoke setup over towards this A site. Pronax, again, looking to go a little bit aggressive. Now, he could catch them with their pants down if he's to push now, but oh, no. He's not spotted anyone out yet, but he is just going to be on that perfect flank. Even if they throw the smokes over, he'll be ready and waiting into A main. This could be absolutely perfect. The in-game leader may just be there. He's going to hear all those smokes going. He's just going to look to be on that flank. The push will be coming in. Schneider isolated by the smokes, but we are really just looking at this flank from Pronax. If he times this well enough, he could individually end this game, and Schneider is going to be there to help him out. Yugi gets one. Here goes the move from Pronax. That's the first flank. Much quicker than they would have expected. The bomb is going to be going down. They're into a 3 versus 4, and this is the chance for GODSENT to close this out.
Yeah, they've got so many angles left to watch on the side of Heroic, but they want to try and close this out. Bomb is down. GODSENT are on the clock, but Twist finds Valde. Now Nico, he's trying to watch the flank, but he's also going to worry about that defuse that's going to be coming on in. Dublin's already on it, and I don't think they've heard it. They go out wide for the peak, but the defuse is being done. And oh no, there we go. GODSENT pick things up. They couldn't clutch it out on the side of Heroic, and that's going to be them 16-14. They win this best of 3 series 2-1 against Heroic. And it was incredible from start to finish. The second you see a game go to 3 overtimes, you know it's going to be intense, and that is exactly what it was. But ultimately, the Swedes, they win it out 2-1 in the series, and that was incredible.
I actually can't believe they managed to pull that back. It looked like it was done. I think they get 6 or 7 rounds in a row towards the end. Absolute madness. It does mean that GODSENT are going to be going through, and I imagine we will be jumping in to what will be the second map. Obviously, I don't know how the other map is going at the moment, but we'll probably jump into the second map of the team that they're probably going to be playing. Very, very close game. If you did enjoy the cast, exclamation mark casters, we're exhausted. I'm sure you're all exhausted, so I'm going to leave it to Harry. He'll probably say hello to a few of you in the chat.
Yeah, I'll say hello to a couple of you guys. Thank you for tuning in for this first game. There's still more great CS coming up any second now, but a quick hello to the finest people in the world in this chat. We got Little Demon 212, Rabbitop, High Lord Claymore, Uncontrol LL, Pearson TV, a bunch of other people, Fendies, Hydric the Swedish Muppet. You must be a happy guy, Hydric the Swedish Muppet. Ninosaur, Insane Potatox, Quillix, Raymond. Oh god, there's too many people. Memorate. Goodbye, dude. Enjoy your life. IJ himself, Ninosaur, Mighty PP. There's too many names. Bucket. I saw someone called Bucket. Something Horned Owl. Pew Pew Lol. Ninja something or other. There we go. That'll do. We're going to be taking a very quick break, guys. We'll be back with more just amazing CS after this. Yeah, that sounded like I was going to swear, but I wasn't. Boom. Done.